So in the women's triple jump, one of the events where we'll be having the final three format, all of the horizontal jumps and throws now, the Diamond League following that. So what we get first is a resume of how they made it into the final three. Well, you would have been shocked if this young lady, the second longest jumper ever outdoors, the longest ever indoors in the triple jump, Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela, still been struggling a little bit with her run-up. She really is in the form of her life, multiple times over 15 meters this year, and this was in the second round here. Once again, she's full of frustration. She wants to entertain. She knows she's got the world record in her sights now. She's losing her balance, even showing what she's not doing right. I mean, Tim and I have talked about this a lot. You know, we're not the world's experts on triple jump, but you know, she's just raw ability and talent, and doesn't always perhaps put the technique together in the way that she'd like to on a more consistent basis. But 15 meters 12, nobody is getting too close to that. You have to say Shanieka Ricketts is jumping very well. We'll be seeing her shortly, but what a season she's having. But Rojas, time and time again, in her last competition, she jumped 15.34, and the last jump was plus 2.2 wind. Wasn't legal, but she'd had 3 jumps before that. So the triple jump final 3, we saw Rojas a little earlier on, how she made it through with the longest jump of the competition in round 2. And this was Mamona, who went out to a new personal best, and indeed a new national record, having got very close in round 2. And in round 5, went even further. The Portuguese athletes, a very good high quality competition with the top 5 women. Kimberly Williams 14.50, only in 5th place, and Mamona here 14.66. Perfect breeze, just a little breeze behind the jumpers this evening. So the former European champion, she's 32 now, been around for, or seems like she's been around for so long, and her personal best went all the way back to the Rio Olympics and improves it by 1 centimeter there. Shanieka Ricketts, I said how good she's been jumping. Really has been in top form, Ricketts, this year. And another excellent series of jumps tonight. 14.75, she took the early lead in the competition. And the Jamaican was coached by her husband. The 2 of them make a very, very good team there. Just wondering about some of the sort of rules and things. Monaco has set the scene last year when the COVID restrictions around the in-arena call-up room. You may have seen some areas at the top of the grass area in the middle there. That's the call-up room. The coaches are allowed now into the arena as well, just to help with maintaining mini bubbles, if you like. And this was the jump we saw earlier on from Rojas. She had a couple of other really good attempts at long. She had 2 no jumps in, actually 3 no jumps in rounds 1, 3 and 5. Really was stretching for it a little bit, kind of flopped into the pit on the 4th round at 14.62. So 15.12, that one we saw from round 2, her best. Those are the 3, and now they'll go in reverse order. So all of those distances are wiped clean. It's the call room area I was just talking to there, you got a glimpse of it. So Mamona, fresh from that new national record, new personal best, which has stood for 5 years, improved it by 1 centimeter, and now she's the first to go. So whatever you do in this final jump, that counts. Shanieka Ricketts, actually, the last time she was involved in this, ended up no jumping in this part of the competition, and went from having jumped to 14.98 in Doha, ended up in 3rd place. That's the risk here, that's the drama of the final 3. So Mamona, Portugal, first to go. Oh, yeah, not an injury there, just well, when you've done a personal best in qualifying for this, you might think that's enough, thank you very much, I'm in 3rd. I don't think I'm going to get as far as the other 2 anyway, so it'll be left to Ricketts and then Rojas. Just see this, Tim, I just thought for a second an angle had turned there.
Oh, nearly, yeah, it just slipped out from under her, but I think it didn't give way completely. The funny thing is, Steve, the Mamona technically is very sound. but because she's so much shorter than Rojas, she's just not covering the same distance, and of course that doesn't count at all. But Rojas, her middle phase is almost non-existent. She's just so huge that poor technique, even with poor technique, she can get away with 15 meter plus jumps. Ricketts here with her final effort. Now she knows she's guaranteed at least second place because of that Mamona effort, which was no jump. Waiting for this Ricketts mark to come up. Plus 30 centimeters, she's giving away that. An awful lot on the board. Oh my word, that is huge. That is a foot, exactly a foot. 2.5 centimeters to the inch, give or take a tiny, tiny hair's breadth of distance. So, Ricketts 14.29. That at least gives a target for Rojas. Steve, it ought to be fairly straightforward.
Well, no, she can really go for it, can't she? I mean, she's won the competition. She'd know she'd win anyway, unless she jumped at the end and somebody had put a decent jump in. So now, hopefully, she can relax, focus on this. She's fast becoming one of the big stars of the sport. She's an iconic individual. And now doing her best to get some support from the crowd, and they certainly love this. So Rojas here, don't forget that world record still 15 meters 50, but she's been getting closer and closer to it. Yulimar Rojas of Venezuela. That looked like a red flag perhaps. Oh, that's a huge jump. Oh, she's got the red flag. Oh, I thought it just looked a little over, Tim, not by much at all, surely. That was a massive jump. She might even ask them to measure it. Maybe not.
It's her first phase. Her first phase is huge. She doesn't get the knee up in the middle phase. She's not a rhythm jumper. That second phase is so rudimentary. And then her final phase with those long legs, brilliant into the sand. Not even a close no jump, was it? That's a shame. Great shame. And she knows it.
Tim, you're on about the second phase. If it was much better, she'd be almost reaching the pit with the second phase.
I'll tell you what, she'd be smashing the world record by a big jump if she could get some rhythm into her jumping, which she doesn't really have.
No, you're right. And what a shame there. Guess what that means? Our winner is Shanieka Ricketts. The only one in the final three to have a legal jump. I'm not sure Rojas will be too bothered either way. Handshake for Ricketts to say congratulations, well done. Mamona takes third. But that was a huge effort from Rojas. Ricketts might go, actually,